We've got a very interesting class of verbs to talk about in this video. They're called deponent verbs. And deponent verbs have only passive forms, but only active meanings. So in other words, you're not going to see any of your normal active forms here. They will only have passive voice endings. But when you go to translate them, you'll only translate them actively. Now, deponent verbs are easy to recognize in terms of the dictionary entries. They only have 3 entries instead of the usual 4. And the first entry will always end in OR. And take a moment and just copy these. There are many, many deponent verbs. But here are a few from the basic conjugations. So arbitror, arbitrari, arbitratus, to think. That would be a first conjugation deponent verb. It has ARI instead of ARE on the second dictionary entry. Then we have polikeor, polikeri, polikitos, to promise. A second conjugation deponent because it has the long ERI instead of the usual long ERE on the second dictionary entry. Then we have loquor, loqui, locutus, to speak. That's a third conjugation deponent. It has I on the second dictionary entry rather than the usual short ERE. And then the last one here is a fourth conjugation, orior, oriri, ortus, to rise. And it has IRI instead of the IRE that's usual for fourth conjugation. As always, pause the video as you need to and press play when you're ready to go on. And take a look at this sentence. Go ahead and copy it. Regina de auro arbitrabatur, quod aurum a servis portabatur. Circle the verbs in this sentence and identify the tense of each. All right, we're just looking for the tense there. Then also label them as either active, passive, or deponent. You should have circled arbitrabatur and portabatur. Those are the 2 verbs. And arbitrabatur and portabatur are both imperfect. That BA stands out there. But the first one is deponent, and the second one is passive. And again, you will know that by looking at your dictionary entries. Arbitror only has the 3 dictionary entries. First part ends in OR. That means it's deponent. Porto, regular 4 dictionary entries. That one is a regular verb. Therefore, with endings like that, it is passive voice. Now take a moment and see if you can translate this sentence. And you should have come up with, the queen was thinking about the gold that was being carried by slaves. What you really want to notice is that both of the verbs look the same as far as the grammar goes. They both end with a BATUR. But the first one is translated actively. The queen was thinking. She was actively doing thinking. And even though it looks passive, it has that active meaning because it's deponent. Porto, on the other hand, regular verb, passive ending, well, that means it's passive. Was being carried. The gold itself wasn't doing anything. It was passively being carried. And that's what's going on with deponent verbs.